Hello! Today we're going to be looking at the painting La Trinidad by Mexican-born artist El Greco. This painting is displayed at the Museo del Prado in Madrid, Spain. This painting is an oil-on canvas and is part of a polyptych set which was commissioned by Don Diego de Castilla to be presented in a church. At first glance, it looks very much like a Renaissance painting that belongs in the Sistine Chapel. El Greco was greatly inspired by the works of world-famous artist Michelangelo, and he referenced many of his paintings and sculptures when creating his work La Trinidad, especially the Pietà sculpture, which also depicts a scene from the burial of Jesus. Both Michelangelo and El Greco's version of this scene capture the image of Jesus post-crucifixion. He is depicted in a limp yet still graceful pose supported by a parental figure. In the Pietà, this is the Virgin Mary, and in La Trinidad, we see God the Father. Something that stands out to me at first glance are the little faces that are scattered throughout the piece, which can appear somewhat out of place at first. There are seemingly 3 emerging from God the Father's cloak and 5 beneath Jesus' feet. These cherubs are meant to visually represent the winds, which flow from God and support Christ. El Greco makes good use of his composition with the cherubs, as some have highly detailed faces and draw the eye to them, while others in less focal areas are barely more than a cluster of highlights and shadows reminiscent of a human face. One example can clearly be seen beneath Jesus' feet. He continues this idea of detail from a distance with the clothing and the angel's wings. The fabric folds and highlights pop when viewed at a distance, and the angel's wings are soft and shine in the light. However, upon a closer examination, these are just very well placed and somewhat messy brushstrokes. He approaches the canvas with such a free hand, and yet to the viewer standing below the piece in a church, the looseness of the strokes would essentially be unperceivable. The facial expressions in this piece are strangely serene for the situation, but it contrasts with the movement that is portrayed, as there are a lot of individuals on the canvas. El Greco still captures a calm sadness in the angel's eyes with highlights that give the impression of glassiness or tears. The Trinity, or La Trinidad, remains the focal point, with the dove, Jesus, and God the Father as the only 3 bodies visibly facing the viewer. All of the angels are either turned toward Jesus or blocked by other individuals. God the Father wears a double-pointed hat, which is similar to a papal tiara, in reference to the mitres worn by Hebrew high priests. This is symbolic of God's position as the ruler of all and ultimate head of the church, and above Christ's head are 3 beams of light. These differ from the usual golden halos painted above Jesus and the saints during this period, as it is a much more simplified version. However, the use of 3 single beams of light work to tie together the piece and symbolize the unity of the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, 3 in 1.